Being that St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner and the fact that I'm half Irish, I felt it only fitting that for the first time in my life, I learned how to make Irish soda bread. So if you've been around my channel over the past few months, you've seen that I have shared a no-knead artisan bread recipe that is super simple. We also made a shockingly easy focaccia bread, which is also simple. So I think it's only fitting that today we try amazingly easy Irish soda bread. So I'm gonna go through this step by step. I'll go through all the ingredients as we go. Welcome to my journey on how to make this, and welcome back to my kitchen. My name's Nancy. This is Nancy's Homestyle Kitchen, where I share how to cook real food with simple ingredients and no pressure to be perfect. I found this recipe on the All Recipes website, and it was submitted by MP Welty. I will go ahead and link it in the description box. And of all the Irish soda bread recipes that I looked up, this one had so many rave reviews. So I felt like this one, and being that it's amazingly easy, was the one that I should try. So anyway, we're just gonna go through it step by step. The first step is to get your oven preheated to 375 degrees and lightly grease a large baking sheet. So my oven is on, and I have a half sheet pan back here that I sprayed lightly with some avocado oil spray. So now we can go ahead and start mixing all the ingredients together. So it calls for 4 cups of all-purpose flour. And it says this serves 20, so I have a feeling it's gonna be a pretty good size loaf. And I think the thing about Irish soda bread is that it's very rustic and kind of home style, and that's what I'm all about. We had soda bread when we went to Ireland many years ago, and I loved it. It's just been one of those things. I think for so many years I was intimidated on making bread that I just didn't try it. And over the past few years, like I've shared before, I haven't bought bread or bread products. I've just been making them, and I found that they're actually really easy. So, okay, 4 cups of flour. I have softened butter. This is 1/2 cup of softened butter. And of course, this is Irish butter. It's the Kerrygold brand. I felt like I couldn't use Kirkland butter for this. Like, why? Let's see. It says add sugar. I have 4 tablespoons of white sugar. And baking soda is 1 teaspoon. And I don't know if you've ever had something that had a higher quantity of soda in it. You can kind of taste it, so it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. 1 tablespoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I just use fine sea salt when I bake. Okay, so we just need to get these mixed together first. This is my buttermilk. I don't want to tip that over. It doesn't say to cut it in with like a pastry cutter, but I kind of feel like I should. So if you're Irish and you're yelling at the screen, just go for it. I may be totally doing it wrong, but like I said, we're gonna do this together. I just feel like you make biscuits and stuff, you cut the butter in so it makes the little buttery pockets. And there's a lot of flour in here too, so I don't know. Hopefully this works out. So when St. Patrick's Day comes around, what do y'all like to have for St. Patrick's Day? Normally, I'm either a beef and Guinness stew, which I'm going to be making for the channel, or corned beef and cabbage. But I think the beef and Guinness stew over some mashed potatoes is probably my favorite, and this would go really, really well with it. Okay, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. The butter is incorporated into the flour. I really don't have much left on my pastry cutter. So then it says stir in 1 cup of buttermilk and 1 egg. So let's crack an egg into a separate bowl to make sure we don't get any eggshells. And I'm going to do an initial stir because I want to break up that egg yolk. And then this is 1 cup of buttermilk. I have another 1/4 cup behind me along with another 1/4 cup of melted butter that we're going to mix together and put over the top. But for inside the bread, you need 1 cup of buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, which I never have buttermilk, what it is, I put a tablespoon of lemon juice in the measuring cup, and then I put 1 1/4 cups of milk and let it sit. Poured off the 1/4 cup of milk for the topping, and it just makes buttermilk. I think I only cook with buttermilk. It's nothing that we ever use, drink or use for anything else. And I find that that little method of making homemade buttermilk just works every time. So that's what I'm doing. That's really the only thing I am changing in this recipe. So it says stir that in. So I'm gonna get it a little more incorporated, and then it says to turn it out onto a lightly floured surface and knead it slightly. Form dough into a round loaf and place it on the prepared baking sheet. Note the dough will be a little sticky. Okay, so let's put a tiny smidge of flour down here. This was part of that. And then go ahead and dump this out. It is really dry and crumbly right now, but I have a feeling once we kind of get in there, that's when it's going to turn sticky. Okay, put a little flour on my hands. Ooh, it's kind of like biscuit dough. I think I just need to work with it a little bit more. All right, so truth time, we stopped the video and went back and looked to make sure I added 4 cups of flour and not 5, because this isn't as sticky as the directions are saying, and I did add 4 cups. So I would say it's not as sticky as the directions lead, but and it says to slightly knead it. I feel like I've had to just not so much kneading it, but just really getting this flour incorporated. So let me just knead it a few more times. It was just more dry than I was anticipating. But it isn't making a mess, and I'm actually kind of glad I'm not working with this super sticky dough. Okay, and then it says form into a round loaf. It doesn't say how thick, how tall it needs to be. Based on my little chart here on my mat, this is about 7 inches in diameter. Okay, let's put that onto the sheet. And now it says to combine the melted butter with a 1/4 cup of buttermilk and brush it over the loaf. So here is my melted butter, 1/4 cup, 1/4 cup of the buttermilk. And I have a little brush. Just gonna mix those together and brush it over the top. I think that's enough. I don't want to make it too wet. Then it says use a sharp knife and cut an X into the top of the loaf. Okay, bake in a preheated oven until a toothpick inserted into the center of the loaf comes out clean, 45 to 50 minutes. Check for doneness after 30 minutes. You may continue to brush the loaf with the butter mixture while it bakes. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the oven. I'm gonna set my timer for 30 minutes, and then I will start checking it and start basting it with the rest of the butter and the buttermilk. Our soda bread is done. So this is piping hot. I used a toothpick and I just went into the center and pulled it out. It comes out clean. It's not gummy or anything, so we know this is done. And this took just about 48 minutes or so to cook. So I'm just gonna let this cool, and when we come back, we'll cut into it. Our bread has cooled, and now it's time to cut in and see how it turned out. Let's see. Ooh. I think this looks good so far. It's definitely a denser bread than I'm used to baking, but it is the type of bread that I do remember eating when we were in Ireland. So let's cut off a slice. It also kind of reminds me of this recipe for beer bread that I make. That is just so good. So maybe I'll make that for you one time. And it is another really easy recipe and super flavorful. Of course, going in with that Irish butter. And let's give it a try. It's good. It reminds me of quick bread, kind of like a cross between quick bread and actually cornbread. It is fantastic, and it's gonna go great with my beef and Guinness stew. So be sure to go check out that recipe. I posted it last week. Thanks again for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this recipe and going along the journey with me to try something new that I've never done before. It is amazingly easy, and it is pretty darn delicious. And I think it would be a great accompaniment to your St. Patrick's Day dinner or any time of year. If you like this type of content, please hit the like button, consider subscribing, and I will be back next week with another recipe from my kitchen.